Severed Heads is meant for a mature audience only. This program contains violent, sexual, and disturbing scenarios. Viewer discretion is advised.
Welcome to Severed Heads, written and created by William Goodman. This story is called We Die in Gray Skies. Chapter 1 is called Odyssey. Conformity is a motherfucker. Tell the coppers. Their steel pistols install fear in the minds of the weak, and their teleprompters spread propaganda to create pandemonium in the streets. Let's all be left in disbelief, so then we can turn our heads 360 degrees and wonder how something could tumble so violently. It's crumbling, like an avalanche. I'm mumbling. Trees are not a match, and just like that, you move your feet. Finally, but not so fast. Like in Prometheus, you run straight ahead. It's outrageous to be left for dead, because most of us will fall down and scream, "Why, master, I deserve another chance." Save the date for your last dance. Tiptoe on broken glass until you're spotted trying to flee the scene with your integrity still intact as they grab you, mask you, and hang you from a tree like an ornament on Christmas Eve. Can't you believe? You're beautiful, like a zoo animal. They watch you with their glistening eyes, crying with astonishment, with no acknowledgement of how you got there or why you hang there under the night sky. But you sparkle, though eventually it gets darker and your audience leaves. Like clockwork, during a thunderstorm, the orange hue appears, and you repeat the process until your audience is bored with you, and you're left hanging from your tree-shaped gallows, but you can't fathom why your neck won't break. Curse the heavens, wait for an answer and scream, "Fuck it." Then the chain breaks, and you're alone, left to figure out how to get home. They say you're a changed man, you say you're a dead man at the morgue. Of course you can't conform. Born a rebel like the devil, always a felon, cursed forever. Everyone says life gets better. Nah, it's like weekday benders, then screaming headaches. Imagine you're a cadaver opened. It's hollow heaven that's open-ended. Though I don't surrender, my case would be cold due to blurry circumstances. Sketchy detectives don't search for criminals. Yet alas, there I am in sheep's clothing. In plain sight, I'm a lost poet. Poison prose until it's perfect. Convince yourself that you're important. Take free speech and cage opinions. Like a politician, you can try and change me. I'm not a criminal, but a victim of my own wrongdoings. I ring the doorbell of my father's home. No one answers, so I break a window. He's asleep, and I'm excited. I wake him up and say I'm homesick. Deadbeat with a heartbeat that's hardly beating, though the dead speak while my head spins and I'm bleeding feelings. Hey Dad, my hands are shaking. I'm a man now, and I've been critically thinking. I know exactly what you did, minus the reasons. What I don't understand is what we did to achieve it. Was being born enough for you to sharpen your razor and shove it in my face when I was screaming, or lock my little sister in the closet when she was angry, hours on end until she was feeling nauseous? I used to sit in silence and forget that, but my mother, on the other hand, took the back of your hand. Every time she disagreed, ignited a screaming match, meaning you would belittle her so much she was like a punching bag that you would attack until the sand ran out. In other words, she was a leaking hourglass and time would lapse, cause eventually you devise a plan that would capture your wrath. I'll hit you with the facts. You made it look like a suicide, though I'm not surprised. My mother tried once before. She was hospitalized, then prescribed. Life was hard, and you were an enabler when she needed her husband. You told her, life only gets worse when you're living in a gas chamber. Literally, you poisoned her with Percocet when you got her drunk and fed her pills and made her overdose look like an oversight. Then you covered it up, I'm not exactly sure how. When I found my mother choking on her vomit, I tried to save her, but what was a teenage boy to do? I called the cops, they bagged and tagged her, and the rest was out of my control. See, detectives like cases they don't need to solve. When it's written on the wall, they glance at it and continue on. Years later, and most importantly, after polishing off a bottle of Hennessy, you were flimsy with your words, twisting your tongue with hyperbole, rambling on till eventually you told me you committed murder of the first degree. My mother wasn't the first, but in fact, you've had the pedigree since before she gave birth to me. A killer on the loose, like a bronco headed towards catastrophe. The real question is, why would you want me to know? Did you think I'd appreciate your cadence and console you without anger? And maybe I'm a psychopath as well. Maybe we could have taken over the world, the family business, with a sign sign that read, "A dead man knows he's next." Huh, that doesn't sound like you. Maybe a plea deal or a bargaining chip before I find you in the future and show you I'm a man now, looking for revenge that's past due. Thank you for listening to Severed Heads. The next chapter is titled Execution. Welcome to Severed Heads, written and created by William Goodman. This story is called We Die in Gray Skies. Chapter 2 is called Execution. Think of me as Mr. 9mm pointed directly at your temple. Do you tremble? Of course you do, because I've crept into your temple and disrupted your concentration. I've given you a headache. Luckily for you, I'm your fucking medic. Are you upset? Good, because I failed every class and skipped the last semester. It's time for your sedative. Never mind, but I'll give you a hug before I start the ritual. It's really just an execution, but I need an excuse to slaughter a man because I'm not an animal without a moral dilemma distorting the truth, like you. You got it backwards. Red rum on the wall doesn't change my view. Murder is a gray area, but the blood from a body is so vibrant I can't help but get excited. I grab a paintbrush and spell out, "Right now is crystal clear." Now nod your head if you comprehend that the end for you is near. I remember when I seemed to care, because I feel like Patrick Bateman in American Psycho. I feel lethal, and the mask of my sanity is beginning to slip. Like Freudian, when I looked at you in the cornea and cared enough to protect myself from the mania. Contact the coroner, because my catacombs are filled with memories that should never escape. Unfortunately, my cataracts bleed uncontrollably, leaving me blind and uneasy. We all die in gray skies. It's black and it's white, it's right and it's wrong. Depending on who's killing who, the horizon separates the evil that men do. And I'm a mad mask man, so welcome to my world, where daisies turn black from the ashes of burnt coal, heating up the planet with pieces of dead souls, keeping us hostage till the redundancy gets old. And we were all told life gets better with age, but the bitter taste in my mouth is because of the disdain. I'm not nostalgic, but the bliss was amazing. Waking up every morning with the power to daydream. Now I'm strapped to a pendulum hanging, trying to see behind me, but the strings are tangled around my ankles and everything is fading. The rope breaks and the whiplash leaves me hazy, but I'm not crazy. Fuck you, Dad. The blood that is yours on my hand has no relation to the blood that is mine rushing through my head. My blood is boiling. I reach for a knife. I siphon me. The steam escapes. I feel like fire mixed with gasoline. Boom. Where to start? Killing. It's an art. Like a Surat painting, I'm torn to the point where I'm popping out the seams, and if I hold back, I'll explode and create a whole new galaxy. The sky's symbolic, the hue's bloody red, Moses once said. The Nile will turn violent and the fish will be silent and dead. As the rain turns, puddles into a bloodbath made for a madman with a pistol in his hand. Bang, bang. Not yet. To suffer is so much worse than a gunshot to the back of the head. A quick death is a gift, and I'm not willing to pretend you deserve anything less than to die under my knife and gift wrapped in a coffin, sent to the heavens. Amen. It's mayhem, mayday, fangs out, cravings. I get so shaky when I miss a meal and the headaches change me. Blood is tasty, a metal-like taste that's oh so savory. Let me savor this second.
Save me,
He yells. First, let me salvage my consciousness before I'm trapped in a cell.
please.
Let me stop you right there. Your last words will be you gasping for air. Now look in the mirror. I see a coward that sees himself as a godsend that's strapped to my chair, though this god's not a prophet, rather a rat in a maze, and I'm your key to this cage. You better behave, or I'll put shackles around your ankles, slashes in your back, and call you my slave. Doesn't that sound great? Sure, but I'd rather cut open some veins. Slice open your spleen, siphon the blood, and put it back clean. I can act as a donor, but my mind's at the morgue, Of course, I can metamorph, but death is a metaphor. We all choose to kill the bull because we think we matter more. A matador with a solipsistic point of view, a holistic kind of curse. Our wish list can't perform, but I can't afford to ramble anymore. Time is of the essence, and my message is becoming suspect. My head is spinning, and I can't remember why I'm holding a pistol in one hand and band-aids in the other. I'm upset, cold sweat, sunset burning in the distance, like there's no mercy in this system. Relax and be a killer and enjoy your life in prison. If I stop, everything can go back to normal. I can go back home and forget this fucking moment of despair, but I'm selfish. I can't. And just like that, I take my baseball bat to the back of his head with consistent impact until I hear a crack and see the blood pouring out, and I know what I've done is accomplished, and I can go back to what's really important. It's over. I place my hands on this man and whimper. For what it's worth, I taste his blood and whisper. Envy and resentment don't seem so different. I finally feel closer to you, my father, my friend, my anti-hero. I'll see you soon enough in hell. Amen. Thank you for listening to Severed Heads. The next chapter is titled Mannequin. Welcome to Severed Heads, written and created by William Goodman. This story is called We Die in Gray Skies. Chapter 3 is called Mannequin. I cry out loud at my pity party. For crying out loud, every personality is insanity. In my head, I cry serenity. Mentally, I slay them, and I'm at peace. Until my mind opens and the party populates. I'm obsolete, in a jail cell where I wait. Until then, misery loves company. So gather around and let's swap sob stories of our innocence. I'll proceed. I was the prince in a kingdom, handprints on the leader, a company man on the rise, and I can taste freedom. No mercy, no rules, no amounts of no meant don't continue. I'm no Virginia with a pocket full of rocks. The world's an ocean, and when I walk in, the Red Sea lets me cross. With a cross across my heart, my morals can be crossed off until my eyes are X'd off, and I die peacefully with a eulogy that beautifully illustrates my lying personality was locked up. How candid. A man damned to madness took success and ran backwards. I realized I mattered and mastered the art masking the damage I inflicted outwards. It's not random, and the ransom is absent. Every single human being gets to deal with me. The walking, talking paradox in a box trying to break free. I'm the bullet in a shooting spree with slight hesitation before I go. Then one night I crossed the thin line that I tight-roped. The nightlife made my eyesight pop off like a gunshot. There's a crescendo when I ricochet. Imagine all the misery. An innocent bystander caught in the crossfire of this imaginary reality that I fuck with. And guess what? I'm a rapist, and my actions perfectly represent the person I respect most. I'm out in the dark with a flashlight on the hunt. I'm out in the dark with a flashlight on the hunt. It's always about a girl, and this story is no different. Symptoms of a sickness us men seem to witness. We enjoy allegories with gore because the truth hurts like blisters. We're masochistic with a mass attached to our slit wrist. I need an incision to remove all the bullshit I'm born with. It's torment. We're doormats on the doorstep of a woman's fortress. It's perfect. Chivalry is worthless when we're shivering in the shadows of a woman's curse. First, and since birth, we've been programmed this way. I'm a mannequin, a man of myth, a man of sin, but man to man, I'm a praying mantis begging I'm a man to me, but I'm not. I was in a relationship for 3 years, but wept tears when she told me it was over. Even lovebirds get older and die lonely. It's evolution. We grow apart and lose focus on what's really important. Obviously, I was not to her, cause throughout the years I was ostracized, like I was not alive. Because I caught that bitch cheating at least 3 or 4 times, I was patronized with her devil eyes. She was an archangel and I used to relic in her pheromones, but that was asinine. Each and every time, she would apologize and I would run back to her like a paraplegic without a spine. She would tell me things would be different and I would believe her. More lies, and I realized love is blind and it's painful and it tears through our chest as we agonize. It's long overdue, but it's time I wilt away. Like the flowers she gave me, eventually were built to fade. Into the abyss, I blow a kiss, wave goodbye, but I'm a masochist. I say hello, she takes me back, and there I am. A dozen roses, my vase, it's overflowing. My face is frozen with broken moments and it's over. I'm finally safe to rot away, rot away, rot away. I'm a mess with no self-respect, a self-inflicted narcissist. I can't think twice, I'm upset. My better half has no respect. I chop it off with no regrets. I look in the mirror and ask who's next. Better yet, I grab an axe and just assume that I know best. Fuck it, man. This girl brings out the worst in me. Matter of fact, what's worse than me? How much am I worth to me? Do I matter? I'll search and see. Open the safe, and I'm out of currency. Every fight is an emergency. Screaming matches. Light the candle. Flickers trick my sense of answers. None are given, and light beats faster. Faster, 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 until my silhouette is a puppet dancing. Lavish ballads, fueled with Xanax. Heart is pounding. Stops mid-stanza. I look at her and she's static. I grab her throat and I panic. I knocked her out and now I'm stumbling. Into the woods we go where secrets vanish. Thank you for listening to Severed Heads. The next chapter is titled Lycan.
I've been running from the law. Running from the law. I've been running from the law. I've been running from the law.
Welcome to Severed Heads, written and created by William Goodman. This story is called We Die in Gray Skies. Chapter 4 is called Lycan.
I've been running from the law.
Time doesn't heal all wounds, and time doesn't necessarily catch up with you. Time is the devil and an angel with a crooked angle that'll hang you from the ceiling before it cuts the rope and slays you. Or is it a well-intentioned certainty that can't help but squeal on your sins when the pressure becomes too real? Because we left the woods that night, and 2 lives changed for the worse. For me and her, we were damaged goods, rotting in the forest like a carcass, and no amount of time can harness the heartache spreading throughout our bones. It's a metaphor. Our horoscope is horrible. A life sentence as a couple Capricorns with a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year is now an experience we pretend to cherish as we cherry-pick the Bible to freeze our hysteria. But deep down, it's clear the fear is won. I know what I've done. I'm itching at my skin. I'm howling at the moon. I feel like I'm finally metamorphing into the person who enjoys torture, and it's out of my control. But I can fight it, can't I? I just got to relax. Breathe in, breathe out. Let the oxygen go to my head and refocus on what's really important. It's over, and I can finally go back to how I was before. But right now, I feel like Mr. Orange with a stomach full of bullets. Crime ain't clockwork with an undercover motive. Maybe the truth hides in every broken moment and we just need a Mexican standoff to show our true emotions. So what does all this mean? Maybe I'm godlike as I mumble in the distance, sawed off like a shotgun ready to go bang. Thank you for listening to Severed Heads. The next chapter is titled Omnipotent. Welcome to Severed Heads, written and created by William Goodman. This story is called We Die in Gray Skies. Chapter 5 is called Omnipotent. Years later. What's the old saying? A jack of all trades is a master of none. Well, I've put my 10,000 hours in, and I'm a master of one. Rape. and tonight I'm dining with the greats. So back to the basics where no woman is safe. First, you gotta know the rules and abide by them. No names, no faces, different locations, and an alibi if things get shady. It's crazy. I should be locked up right now. Past mistakes were made, but I'm a free man with a vendetta and a meta that's turnkey. It starts outside a bar where I'm nowhere to be seen, but I'm watching you with binoculars waiting for you to leave. I follow you home and I start to scheme. It starts with intel, like are you married, kids, a dog, anything is fair game. I might break into your home and investigate, and when the time is right, I'll pounce on the opportunity before it incinerates. In this particular case, I was watching you for about a week. You live with your boyfriend who's out the door no later than 8 a.m., which leaves you alone at home and mine for the taking. But what about the alarm system? Pretty easy, actually. A sophisticated jammer can bypass pretty much any home security, but I digress. I just like to brag. I'll cut the power and we'll start the party, just the two of us and our sinister romance. Now let the motherfucking fun begin. I don't mean to intrude. Let me set the mood for you. Let me dig through my briefcase and play some tunes for you. I even have a playlist for moments like these. Do you hear it? Do you hear it? It's beautiful. My father used to play this song through the stereo. I used to hate it. I was hysterical. I would demand he turn it off and find something else on the radio. He would turn the volume up until my cries seemed minuscule. Minutes skewed as my ears bled till the end. And then he would put it on repeat and tell me whining only accompanies grief. Eventually, I would zone out, take her words, and romanticize peace. I grew up to love it. My childhood was a Renaissance theme. Listen, bitch, I fucking love this part. Can you understand? You'll never understand. I'm a complicated man, a castaway like cancer. My only consolation is you're my constellation I've created in my head and dreamt about forever. I'm the darkness, but you still shine. Open your eyes and make the day shine sunshine now. Now dream of a time when life seemed perfect and relate it to now and let sunshine shine right now. Can you understand? You'll eventually understand. Open up your life and make your lifetime sunshine now. Open up your soul and make your lifeline sunshine now. Can you understand? You understand? You understand? I'm a damaged man, damned for eternity. You can scream my name at my funeral, but god damn it, man, I thrive in a furnace. So open your heart and remember I'm omnipotent. I'm almost there. Just shut the fuck up and listen to the instrumentals. You get lost towards the end with the keys and the strings harmonizing to perfection. It's so uplifting. It's like being resurrected. I'm Jesus fucking Christ, and you're in my temple with your knees on the floor and your hands in the heavens. Scream my motherfucking name, bitch, and tell me I'm the God you worship. I said, scream my motherfucking name, bitch, before you're damned to purgatory.
You are my Lord and Savior.
So thank me for this opportunity.
I'm forever grateful.
Remember this moment. I am omnipotent. I am a gift that you'll cherish forever. And though you don't understand my attention, you'll look back on this moment and realize your life changed for the better. And when you're sitting in your bathtub filled with tears, just remember you have a choice. Either crumble and fall or rise above expectations and become the God you were meant to be all along. I swear to God, I will fucking kill you. Thank you for listening to Severed Heads. The next chapter is titled Hennessy. Welcome to Severed Heads, written and created by William Goodman. This story is called We Die in Gray Skies. Chapter 6 is called Hennessy.
Here comes the good girl, who drowns slowly with her in command. Beautiful ship she takes hold of your lips and your tongue, your lips and your tongue.
I'm Hemingway with the Hennessy while I celebrate, the Northern Hemisphere's social butterfly when I drink. On this day, I have absolutely nothing to contemplate except congratulate myself on yet another successful rape. So, for tonight, it's Monster Mayhem in my playpen, 1 a.m. I'm a pagan. See the moon? I'm impatient. It is full, I get creative. Like the owl, I'm nocturnal. Feast on limbs of those complacent. I hear howling in the distance, brothers barking for assistance, glasses clicking, laughter, kissing, mischief, mission on my wish list. Stop. For a second I was slipping. Stop. My destiny is here and I can't miss it. I'm out for blood and I'm addicted. Yes, I'm immortal, bordered up, and now I'm poison you can purchase. At the bar I scope for victims, see a beauty, and she's perfect. I have earned it. I can be charming and honest with good intentions. Just buy her a drink and she'll fall in love with my aroma. My faulty romance that smells like roses, though I'm a dandelion in the wind that looks euphoric. Hi, beautiful. That's all I need to say to swipe her off her feet. You look like a Hennessy kind of girl. Can I buy you a drink? And then I watched her heart crumble in pieces. She was in shock that someone of my stature wanted to meet her.
I would love that. By the way, my name is Rachel.
We picked up our tulip glasses and I made a toast. New encounters meant new friends, and those are the little things you need to cherish the most. We immediately hit it off. She was laughing and crying in a good way, and I was already envisioning our future. I was in love with her smile and freckles and bangs just below her eyelashes. We were perfect together. Last call came and she was fucking wasted. I called a taxi and we went back to my place. I carried her to my bedroom and tossed her on my bed. I ripped off her red dress and began kissing her neck. From a faint whisper, I heard.
Stop.
I ignored it and proceeded to the next step. I heard.
Stop.
Yet again. But I said, baby, this is our destiny. Don't you agree? I put my hands on her throat until her screams seemed to seize. A final.
Please.
Before she fell fast asleep, I finished quickly and kissed both her cheeks. Good night, beautiful. Tonight was so romantic. You're a gift God gave to me, and I was the lost city of Atlantis.
Comes the good girl, butterflies tied to the edge of a dress, hovers above the black ground without making a mess.
I awoke to a thump in a haze. She was gone. From my bed, I called her name. Rachel, Rachel. Nothing except silence showed its face, except that thump again, slowly fading away to an echo. I was startled, and my heart was racing. What could it be? I thought as my mind started hallucinating different degrees of danger. I grabbed my pistol from the nightstand and started to investigate. I threw on some clothes and made my way down the staircase. Halfway down, I heard another round of thumps, now louder and more persistent. Rachel, Rachel! I yelled, with no response. I headed for the kitchen and poured myself a glass of water. Ripples decorated the surface with every incoming thump. From the front door, I heard,
I know you're in there. It's the police. Open up.
I tossed the gun and sprinted for the back door, jumped the fence, down the street, before two police officers tackled me and threw me in the back seat of their squad car. They treated me like an animal, a wild dog rotting in a jail cell. Rachel went to the police and told them I raped her. I'm a victim, a scapegoat. Her memory escaped her. We made love last night and you can't tell me different. She tricked me. I can't believe this. We shared a romance, like a slow dance, my hands caressing her hips and her hands holding my shoulders. But now she expects me to shoulder the burden. Well, burn, bitch. I feel loneliness. Her story was ambiguous. Her neck was bruised, I guess, and I'm being locked up for a crime I didn't commit. I'm innocent, I swear, and I swear to God she'll pay for her sins in perdition. A lying, rotten politician. A maniacal, maddening magician. I'm sentenced to 3 to 4 years, and when I exit the stage, I'll find you, my love, and bury you so far under the grave.
She grabs any dessert and she chokes it to death. And you bow and say thank you to the mistress of me for your selfies and
Thank you for listening to Severed Heads. The next chapter is titled Prisoner. Welcome to Severed Heads. written and created by William Goodman. This story is called We Die in Gray Skies. Chapter 7 is called Prisoner. My thoughts are sacred. My thoughts are sacred. Try and cage me. Try and change me. You won't save me. I'm Marquis de Sade without his pen and paper. I got blood and feces for the walls I'm painting. Visuals I've recreated. Of my art. It's so creative. It's a ritual of my new religion. A new world order with no opinions except mine. We'll call this brief prison sentence an intermission until I ascend time. The jurisprudence based on my intention. Prove lies. And I'll rebound and survive. I'll conquer women in no time. No crime. I've left women left for dead in the woods, and God's turned a blind eye. Sad cries. I fucked up that night, and now I'm a bad guy. Madness, date rapist, apologize. I'm a professional, ask around. Ugh, my father was a prisoner, like a caged man in a carnival. My sister, mother, and I used to visit him. Once a martyrdom now seemed so minuscule. My mother would scorn me when I called him a loser. She said,
"He provides for us. Be thankful we're not homeless."
"It's hard being a grown-up. Sometimes you make choices you regret in the future." Well, he had a future. He got out and continued doing what he loved. He handed me a bottle of poison and told me to drink up, and I did. I became him, and like him, when I get out, I'll continue on where I left off. Because this was an accident, an asterisk on my record, I assessed the situation, and for next time, I'll be better. Because I am better. I never thought I would be in this situation, but here we are, and I better make some friends, because caged animals and cockfights go hand in hand. We're all prisoners. God's the warden. This planet's a jail cell, and when we die, we get to escape this purgatory. Sure, life on Earth lets us have our own personal story, but it's all forgotten when we're finally free to roam the universe and explore the truths that were out of focus before. It's clearer now. We're in a cage, like a paradoxical allegory. In this story, we're just side characters to our own virtual outer exterior, who's superior in every way. We must admit, it's our ignorance that will set us free. I guess it's an out-of-body shooting spree. 'Cause after the rapture, it's all inner peace. Save me, please. That's all I could think about as tears ran down both my cheeks. I can't change. I cried under my breath. I can't speak. I'm dying on the inside. In a blink of an eye, everything can change. Then you collapse to the carpet and you can no longer think. From there on out, it's all memories of your childhood. The happy ones reminding you there's positivity like you're in a children's book. But between the pages and within the lines, you read lies with your devil eyes. In the book of scripture, it's just contradictions, and it's your job to define the definitions. Defy logic and cherry-pick, sculpt the God that you've envisioned. Then you sit there, on the floor, blood gushing from your stomach. Your hand acts as a band-aid, but it can't stop the bleeding. And then in a faint echo I heard,
"You bitch-ass motherfucker, you better rot here."
Everything went white for a second as I laid there. My eyes opened and I cried for my savior. "You have disgraced me. Please, Lord, go ahead and leave me. I was innocent, as much as a sinner can tolerate, but always being cynical comes with consequences, and eventually I was attacked. They called me a skinhead, neo-Nazi, but disregarded the facts. I'm a good man, doing charitable acts. Misunderstood as the earth faded to black. I saw death, so I extended my hand. Take me, God, but I don't remember the rest. I awoke in a hospital bed. Chained to the sides, I was still under arrest. It's present tense, and I'm a black rose with a black soul in a black hole living vicariously through my father, and I know where I must go alone. It's home. Thank you for listening to Severed Heads. The next chapter is titled Limbo. Welcome to Severed Heads, written and created by William Goodman. This story is called We Die in Gray Skies. Chapter 8 is called Limbo. Year 1 continued. I don't remember much, but I remember the blood. I remember the shallow pool I was drowning in crashing down on my lungs. I remember the red handprints on the white tiles as I was crawling for help. I remember the 5 blacks and the sharp object they used to dig deep in my stomach. I remember they huddled around me and called me pathetic, called me a John Wayne Gacy copycat that should be facing lethal injection. They said I was a worthless piece of shit and deserved what was coming. I was covered, smothered in blood like I was baptized, and my sins were repented. After the incident, I was accepted. After all, being resurrected after a beating like that is respected, and I continued my sentence in peace, treading lightly on the muddy waters I had to keep clean. After year 1, this is a nightmare on Elm Street and I'm hanging from an elm tree, rocking back and forth, hoping that my neck breaks. Success, it separates. Subtract my memories, an extended sentence for a born-again secular demigod. Let me demonstrate as I detonate. I'm dead today, hell tomorrow. I'm dead awake on visiting the decorated landscape again, but I better make amends. That landscape is a devastating memory that's trapped inside my head. So I'll fake it, I'll conform, I'll get some help, and I'll perform an act an elaborate personality. Get out, get back to being a lavish womanizer. After year 2. Prosecute the prophecies, Nostradamus fallacies, hypocrisies, pastors sing, sweet, sweet melodies, felonies and date rape tendencies, celibate and daydream murder scenes. Murder me, your middle school shooting spree. Conformity, a con man, constantly. Pardon please, it's a plastic palace and I'm partial to progress, so tie me down like Alex DeLarge and condition me. Part the sea and watch me right the ship on this Odyssey. Ozymandias legacy. Empty calories, seize the day and systematically change your ways. Wicked days ahead. In bed as you call for reinforcements. My head, I dread, I cry for rigor mortis. I'm dead, I plead for habeas corpus again. I bled for the right to become a better person, but I'm a torn man, dormant to those that are doormats. Like the middle class, poor men disguised with poor math. Rape is convoluted. To kill 2 birds with 1 stone is easy as cake. Over the moon and across the rainbow, you'll find a butterfly and a rattlesnake. Speaking of the devil, we don't need to see eye to eye, but to argue with my intentions, then you missed all the warning signs. The warning signs. After year 3. Institutionalized, I see red in my eyes, hiding under an ash tree, I try and survive. Horror, borer, I spray insecticide. Aurora borealis, I feel electrified, but I can't decide. Would I rather be invasive, ash, or a firefly? I once lit up the sky, but I was caught in a mason jar until I died. I remain traumatized, but like Andy said, I better get busy living, because salvation lies. Now count sheep and visualize, and visualize, and visualize, and visualize, and visualize. Year 3 continued. What have I done? What have I done? What have I done? What have I done? What if I'm done, and that bright light isn't the sun? What if it's God calling my name, telling me I don't belong? What if I'm forsaken, and the devil has taken my tongue? What if I can't bargain with my afterlife, and the process has already begun? I'm not sure what's happening. Everything is black and white. I can see my sins playing in the distance, like I'm surrounded by the horizon, reminding me that my life's a motion picture, and I'm the antagonist in the script I've published and written. I wish it were fiction, but it's not that simple to forget your evil and wicked ways. I'm a boy with a sickness. I see the faces of my victims engraved on the big screen. I take a few steps forward and immediately fall flat. It's a land of quicksand. My lungs are deprived and I'm quickly running out of breath. In the corner of my eye, I see a silhouette. He looks familiar, but I can't figure out where exactly we have met. I ran to him, but he dissolved into a million pieces like he was a mirage, and I'm seeing reasons to reflect on my misdemeanors. But then he appears again, and I follow him like he was the answer to my prayers, and I'm born again. I yell to him, "Where are you taking me?" But he doesn't respond. Eventually we appear to reach the end, and in a flash, he's long gone. My feet are torn with cuts and blisters. Rattlesnakes are crawling up my skin. I grab one with my fingers. I raise the serpent to the sky and beg whoever for forgiveness. Lightning strikes, and I awake on my final day, and I awake on my final day, and I awake on my final day in prison. Thank you for listening to Severed Heads. The next chapter is titled Nimbus. Welcome to Severed Heads, written and created by William Goodman. This story is called We Die in Gray Skies. Chapter 9 is called Nimbus. I must I drink from the bottle until my head is spinning, ascend to the heavens for 7 minutes, rippling through time like I'm on a mission. I'm a blip on the radar with no assistance, though I am a sinner with great persistence. I can't pretend I don't guzzle liquor until I awake with a screaming headache. My liver aches. I need a medic. People think I'm pathetic. They're just jealous and I pity them. The world's upsetting with an abysmal setting. Everything is lifeless and whatever makes it better deserves attention, and whenever your life is static, get fanatic about thrilling benders that kill the madness. I'm damaged, like a toy you can't return. A boy torn, and I can see that I'm cursed, and I accept that. Though I hide inside a mask when society is all about acceptance, I reflect that. Lies are all about a little bit of truth with deception. That's it. Awkward stares, followed by judgment, heads turn, sideways. See, I'm a product of my father, a complex individual, a criminal, critically acclaimed for being terrible, a tear in my heart, and a thorn in my thistle. I remember wishing my childhood were different. Now I embrace it, and wear my emotions like a bracelet. Bashful bastards. Try and base my actions on the fact that I've battled my whole life, and they say I've given up on my bracket. I'll never take what I don't have for granted. This planet is for the taking. You just gotta grab it. But every time I try, my fingers snap backwards, and when I awake, I feel like a soldier in a cavalry, slaughtered and mounted above the fireplace. Tragic. I'm batshit crazy. I'm wedged between a rock and a hard place, and I want to rip my limbs and break out of this casing. See, with people, you gotta be zirconia. It's an unfortunate circumstance, but people expect euphoria. So be a diamond in the rough and never break until your secrets add up and you dig your grave. People lie and never change, so keep your 2 cents in your pocket to keep it safe. To keep it safe. I must kill. I was resurrected on the 8th day, a Monday, a new start. I was itching for excitement, a werewolf under the moonlight. What I saw was frightening, a spider split into a new one, again and again until a pack was crawling up my shoulders, 8-legged freaks telling me it's over. Now I'm itching at the skin, ripping holes in my arm till the blood is exposed. I was decomposing, a lifeless mess, but now I understand my purpose. So what I did next was absolutely perfect. I must kill you.
Please don't, I'm begging you.
Shut up, bitch. Stop making this difficult. Can't you see this is your destiny? I'm your deity. Now bow to me. I'll make this quick and finish promptly. Just shut the fuck up and let me concentrate.
Please, let me go.
I cleaned her up and tossed her to the wolves. It wasn't the same old, rather painful, remorseful, and her sheer lack of hopefulness was imprinted on my brain, full of images of blood pools and show tunes I'd listened to and screaming through duct tape and wrist ties I'd used to set the mood. I felt powerful, like Zeus, and sure you can say I was a loner with daddy issues, but honestly, I was happy with the choices I've made. I looked at it this way: tears in an ocean run miles deep, so who am I? But one man with eyes like duct tape with tears that never cross my face. I tried again in a week. I just needed confirmation the lust I had was faded as my identity was at stake. I think back on my childhood and what it used to be. It wasn't turtle sandboxes and chocolate chip cookies. It was sand in an ashtray and saltine crackers with butter and sugar for dinner most days, which is fine. Life is what you make of it. My father poisoned my mother with Percocet and had the balls to call her a dirty, cheating whore at the morgue. He thinks I don't remember, but murder is never black or white. It's a gray, thin line in the horizon that separates intention and sways like a pendulum when the shadows peek behind the light, then out of sight again. Fuck you, Dad! Mom was the only one that loved us, and you took her from me. I'm free, you'll see, and now it's time to go home and graduate. It's going to be murder in the first degree for the man who made me this way. I must kill you, Dad, and become the man I was always meant to be. I was always meant to be. Thank you for listening to Severed Heads. The last chapter is titled Schizo. Welcome to Severed Heads. Written and created by William Goodman. This story is called We Die in Gray Skies. Chapter 10 is called Schizo. 'Twas the night, oh that night of the loneliest nights. It was me and myself, and a bottle of spite and a knife in my hand that I so happened to forget about, and the blood dripping from it onto the carpet in the darkness, with the lights cut and the TV blasting. An old horror film in black and white, but the bright red in my hand was that from a dead body. Where'd I hide it? I don't remember, but all I know is I'm a monster with a mind of that who is Charles Manson. And magic happens when sadness happens, and chloroform rags and bags that I use to drag a man with hands of that with a filthy conscience. The blood splatters and the writings on the wall in the form of a horror story. As it scatters, my brain is as calm as a man without a problem. Purgatory is just gore without a purpose. Here on Earth, I much rather torture every person. It's a chore, though, to socialize and waste every perfect moment with people you much rather undress and cut their temple open. That's how I get to know them. Fuck talking. It's worthless when their mind just needs a second of fresh air until it's over and the headache's forming and I can't escape. Killing is how I meditate, and when I'm in that state of mind, I can't focus, and you better pray to God that I'm not around. But when reality comes back and I can't recall what just happened, I cliff fall without a hanger to change my fate. So wait, am I Leonard in Memento? Either way, I'm tempted to tiptoe out this place, jump the gate, and leave this mansion without a trace. But first, I better wash my face and hands and dispose of my gloves and clothes and pour gasoline and Clorox bleach everywhere to destroy my DNA. It's a pattern until Jacob's ladder has a broken chain and I miss a step and fall. Oh boy, am I insane with a broken leg, and I hear sirens in the backdrop, so I back off because the back seat of a black and white SUV won't be the end of me. If my father has taught me anything, it's Dracula, jugular, juggernaut, you are not. Drink your blood, juniper bees, until you are drunk. There's enemies all around me. I feel bubonic. Everyone drops like flies. Black skies, death from above feels euphoric like a motherfucking sunrise. Thank you for listening to Severed Heads, written and created by William Goodman. So I'll see you again, my greatest friend, my severed head. Amen.